I am currently rank 223 in Phantom Forces. It's a rank I hesitate to say I'm proud of, but I can't deny that I've had a lot of fun getting to that point over the last 7-ish years. And it's also helped me to get to where I am on YouTube right now. Big thanks again for 150k subs, by the way, my dudes. But 223 isn't just my rank in Phantom Forces. 223, or 223, is a conversion that is actually on quite a few different guns in this game. And frankly, I'm about to be rank 224, and I feel like this video just wouldn't hit as hard if I wait until then. 223 is a cool conversion for a lot of reasons. For one, it's probably the most common conversion that you'll see in the entire game, especially amongst lower ranked players, but it's also a conversion that gives a lot of different weapons very little recoil at the cost of damage. So let's find out together today. Is it actually worth using? And if so, what place does it have? To find this out, I've put together a list of a few different guns that can utilize 223, and we'll see what kind of differences it can actually make in your gameplay. There's actually a lot more guns that have 223 on them than I thought, from scars to augs to like the different tar weapons and stuff. It's actually kind of a lot to go over, but we'll actually start right here with the Scar L, and because I value your time, I'm just gonna say no. You see, the thing is with the Scar L in particular is that kind of the whole deal with this is the fact that it is a guaranteed 4-shot at all ranges, right? At least a guaranteed 4-shot. So pretty much it makes it super easy to be able to just laser beam people. But as soon as you throw on 223, obviously, like I said, your damage is going to be reduced, but you go from doing a 25 minimum down to 22. So you immediately lose the advantage, or rather the whole reason of using the Scar L in the first place, for the most part at least. So like on one end, you're getting a lot less recoil. Apparently playing freaking crazy, but on the other end you're losing that 4-shot potential at range, and that one extra shot really can make or break a weapon. And in this case, that's a fat no for me, my good sir. 223 should not be on the Scar L. Now if we can completely, yes, I speak English, I speak American. If we completely flip the type of weapon that we're using here on its head, we're going to be going over the AUG A2, a gun that you might not actually think too much about, but actually has some pretty crazy damage figures, all things considered. So for one, you're getting a maximum of 35 damage, minimum of 20, so it is a 3-shot all the way up to 50 studs, and all the way out to 135 it does as low as 20, which makes it a 3 to 5-shot weapon depending on your range. If you throw on 223 though, it completely removes both of those to where it's a 4-shot up close, not including headshot multiplier of course, and a 6-shot at distance. And the thing is, without even using 223 on this, just kind of the AUGs just really don't have any recoil as is. Like, I have a pretty bare bones setup on this, and honestly, if I didn't even have these attachments, I bet you the recoil would basically be no different. So if we go ahead and buy and equip 223 on this, you can see that the recoil does go down as far as like the advanced stats goes. But if we actually look at it here, the recoil is honestly basically unchanged. So you're sacrificing quite a substantial amount of damage just so that you could have like the tiniest little bit less recoil. It just ain't worth it, Chief. I'm sorry to say. So, okay, so far we're 0-2 against 223. So what is this doing up on screen here? Well, I'm actually going to give you a good example here of where 223 is entirely applicable, because if you see here with the L85A2, the damage is already not super great, all things considered. It's basically always going to be a 5-shot regardless of range, again, not including multipliers. So throwing on 223, but you're still maintaining that 4 to 5 shot at all ranges, just with slightly less damage. So is that reduction in recoil actually worth it? It's a fat laser beam, bruh. It really is. Unfortunately, it's not gonna make me play any better though. Even whenever I'm moving side to side, you can see that the recoil is basically non-existent. Also, my freaking kills are apparently too. Oh, how sad it makes me. There's too many people. I gotta go this way now. But honestly, 223, while it does make a little bit of a difference with your recoil on the L85 in particular, it doesn't actually change the amount of bullets required to kill your enemy, and changes it honestly so little in terms of damage that it works. It's fine. Another weapon where I feel it works extremely well is the C8A2, just because of the nature of what kind of weapon this is. Now, if we actually look here, again, we're not really getting a minimum of 5 shots, we're getting 6 shots, and it lowers the minimum damage down to 17, which is still a 6-shot. Same with the up-close damage, it's very similar, you're only really losing like 1.5 damage points, but it's not changing the amount of bullets required to kill your enemy. Meanwhile, again, you're getting another weapon that has crazy low recoil. Easy laser beam, bro. Sure, it may take 6 shots to kill your enemy, but easy laser beam. My god, how many headshots does it take, bruh? Yeah, again, you kind of run into a wall of like, it's already got pretty low damage, so, you know, why not take it down an extra damage or 2? But again, super low recoil, kind of makes this thing extra crazy, so I think 223 actually works pretty well on this. Come on. Come on. Yes. Like literally last bullet, dude. But okay, those are basically all assault rifles, though. What about actually an SMG? Yeah, because there is an SMG that can actually take 223, and that would be the G36C. This is what I was a little bit surprised about on the damage, actually, because you're not getting the typical SMG 3-shot point blank, like half the SMGs actually have. You're getting 33, so it's still going to require 4 shots to kill, 5 shot at range. But if you throw 223 on, your close-up damage isn't changing the amount of rounds that it takes to kill an enemy. However, your minimum damage is going to be changed, and it's going to take an extra round. So this one's kind of a hit or miss for me, because it really depends what you're trying to get out of 223, or rather what you're trying to get out of the G36C. That rhymed, I'm so silly. Because the G36C already has fairly low recoil, but you're like upping your ability to laser beam people at the extent of taking an extra round to kill them. Now this is going to vary from weapon to weapon, as we've kind of seen so far. But look at that, I'm literally moving, I'm literally strafing, and I'm able to laser beam people super easily. So I feel like this is another case where it's like, it does take an extra round, but the recoil is reduced so much that it's like actually becomes totally worth it. Whereas if I go ahead and I take off 223, you can see that it's still like fairly low. If I can actually find somebody to spray at, we'll just spray at that guy. You can see that the recoil is still low, but it's a lot more jumpy than I'd kind of like it to be. And it's just one of those things where it's like, it really depends what you're trying to get out of it. But me personally, I feel like 223 works really good on the G36C. Another case where it doesn't, though, is going to be in the LMG category, and that would be the Colt LMG. Now, putting on 223 doesn't change your magazine or anything. It doesn't change magazine capacity like it does on some weapons, but it really does hinder your damage. It takes an extra shot up close to actually get a kill, and it adds an extra shot at range. It looks like it reduces your recoil quite a bit from the advanced tab as well, but in practice, the Colt LMG actually has kind of a lot of recoil as is, and 223 does not seem to really help at all. Yeah, that's with 223, and actually like pretty decent attachments, so not great. So you're sacrificing an extra shot for less damage, like usual, but on a weapon that already kind of has fairly high recoil for what it is. I don't think it really requires much more explanation, though. I feel like I explained that pretty well as far as why it's not super great on the Colt LMG, but this next one might be a little bit different, because it's one that I actually don't really like, or rather used to really like and then just kind of stopped using, is the L86 LSW, because this is an LMG that only has 30 rounds of ammo. It also kind of has similar damage to the Colt LMG, with 35 up-close damage, but 22 instead of 21 minimum, as well as having like a crazy lowered fire rate, actually. But putting 223 on this actually gives you a drum, and it increases your ammo capacity from 30 up to 50 rounds. Now, you will have to actually land an extra round for up close and at range, but the thing is that the L86 LSW, while not a very good LMG, actually has extremely low recoil. You can see that it's super jumpy recoil, but the shots just kind of land in the same spot whenever the recoil comes back down because of its slower fire rate. So bro, I'm just saying, not that bad. There's a little man there. I literally hear someone being so loud right now. Oh, there he is. I know we got him. We're good. I will say that it does kind of suck actually losing that 3-shot up-close potential, because I feel like that's a large part of what makes the L86 LSW a pretty good LMG, at least for like up close. It's just not a very good overall SMG because of its low ammo, though. This is a case that's actually a little bit unique, where you are gaining a ton of extra ammo at the cost of slightly reducing your damage and making it more of a typical kind of LMG that you see in this game. Again, I'm a little bit 50-50 on this. I feel like it just kind of is a very specific use case. So you'll kind of have to decide for yourself whether it's something that you feel like is a worthy trade-off. I don't know. Honestly, I'm super mixed on it. And for the final one here, which is probably going to be a bit of a surprise for a bunch of you, is actually going to be a shotgun, the Saiga 12, which if you don't know what it looks like with 223, might look super cursed just on the surface, because typically it's like that. Now it is like this. Surprisingly enough, before I show you the damage numbers, it actually has relatively good damage for what it is. Because whenever I imagine a shotgun firing 223, I imagine something that is actually just completely practically useless, right? But the thing is, the fact that the Saiga 12 has so many different conversions for it, and the fact that it can be utilized in so many ways, makes it like one of the best guns in the entirety of Phantom Forces. Anyway, enough chattering, bruh. Look at the damage, right? It doesn't have any torso multiplier. Does have standard 1.4 headshot multiplier that like all assault rifles have, for the most part at least. So it requires 4 shots up close, 5 shots at range, but just about 4 shots, right? And it gets you 40 rounds of ammo, all the while having actually pretty low recoil. Like actually, it's really comparable to like the C8A2, just with like a good bit slower fire rate. 5 shot at range, low recoil, 40 rounds total. Honestly, just a solid choice. Of course, we are comparing it to it being a 12-gauge shotgun, which honestly is just kind of not really comparable whenever you're trying to compare it without 223, because it is actually a whole different weapon. I mean, literally, it becomes the Saiga 223. But honestly, you know, it is what it is. It's pretty good. Again, whether you like 223 or not, it honestly comes down to what you're trying to get out of any given weapon, and if you're willing to make the sacrifice of lower damage for lower recoil. Depending on the weapon, it looks like it costs between 500 and 750 kills as well to unlock, so a lot of weapons that have 223, you're going to be unlocking it pretty early on if it's a gun that you kind of like, and it's a gun that you're going to use for like a solid day or two, right? You could rack up a lot of kills pretty quick if you know what you're doing. I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you want it, you should get it and try it, because it's low enough kill requirement where it's like, a pre-buy is not going to really destroy you. It's not really going to destroy your Phantom Forces economic status that bad. But alas, the time has come. I am officially ranked 224, and with that, we come to the end of the video. And if you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, make sure to like the video, as well as subscribe if you guys are new, because I've got a lot of videos just like this one coming out soon. And I've got a lot of them already made, which you can check out with the end card that should be up on screen in a couple minutes here. Or a couple seconds, I guess. Huge thanks to the channel members. You guys help personally, financially support these videos. And you guys help keep me motivated to keep making this kind of content. If you want to become a channel member yourself, you can do so with the link in the description below, and you will be greatly supporting my channel. Huge thanks to Lazy Goth and K-Pop Hater for both being top tier channel members. You guys are freaking awesome. And to the rest of you guys, have a fantastic day. And go check out the Phantom Forces playlist, because I know it's up on screen now, and it's gonna be a lot of videos. It's a great binge session. There we go. We've done it, boys. I guess I'm not coming back.
Oh, you're dead.
Hello, bro really said nah.
Come on, Nathaniel.
No, you got me this time.